it do, YouTube? Stewart-Cox gang. We back. So today, once again, we went to our favorite place like we always do. Mostly for our mukbangs, story times. We went to Mama's Kitchen, like we said before, down in Ghouls. This time T tried something a little different.
I got the fried chicken wings with the rice and peas and macaroni.
Okay. And your boy went and slid and tried the fried ribs. You feel what I'm saying? Right now I think Trick Daddy holds the title for the fried ribs down here. At his place, Sunday's Eatery. A lot of people say it's good, so this is my first time really trying fried ribs. I haven't tried his yet, so I'm finna try the ones down here from Mama Kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Blige. We gonna see how these things taste. So today we gonna be doing a little story time, and let's see. Let me play it around so we can get a little, so they can get a full view of that thing right there. Show them. She got the wings going on. Show them. Just for that thing. Yeah. You gave a little smile. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be doing the story time mukbang. Like I said, it's hurricane season just started down here in the MIA, so we already starting to get our preparations on as far as hurricane survival stuff that we need. Lamps, lights, candles, gas. We also got to get some charcoal. Those things that you need just in case. What else? We don't really deal with the kerosene like they used to back in the day.
Canned goods.
Yeah, canned goods.
Grill.
Yeah, the grill, stuff like that.
And what we had, I forgot the name of it. It's like a portable stove that you don't have to plug in. You put the pot so you can continue cooking. Yeah.
So we got one of those. Did we get one of those? Or
no, we didn't get one yet. We need one. Yeah,
we're looking into it. So if anybody has seen any of those out and you might have them, you know we can get them from, leave them down. Leave a comment down in the comment section letting us know, you know what I'm saying, or a link, you know what I'm saying, hook it up. So like I said, we're gonna be doing a story time, basically of, like we told y'all in the previous vlogs when we were talking about what we've been through the hurricane season. So we wanted to give y'all a little backstory along with some stuff that y'all might need as well, to get prepared. So
me or D will probably be going first, giving you some background information of what occurred during the Hurricane Andrew.
Okay, tell us what's up. I never really heard your story. You always heard my story. I want to hear your story. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Hurricane Andrew. No one really took it serious.
Hold on. You gotta give a backstory. Tell the people what year it was, what time it was, what's the date.
Remember,
I know it was August. It was 1993 or 94, I believe.
Okay. Well, I don't remember the year. But anyway, it was Hurricane Andrew, and it was
93 or 94.
94.
I believe it was 94.
And it was around hurricane time, and people didn't really take it serious because the hurricane was so far out in the water. So everyone went and put the wood on their windows to cover the windows, and that was about it. We didn't go as far as buying canned goods, buying everything else that we may have needed. So
and that's one of the major things down here. When you come down here, if you're ever down here in this hurricane season, a lot of people like to use wood on their houses, still taking the cheap route. My bad, T. Go ahead.
Hold on. So my father and mother put the wood over. No, as a matter of fact, we used the
No child shutters?
yes,
Yeah, they had shutters.
we had shuttles. So we didn't use the wood, we used shuttles.
They fancy.
So everybody was going on about their day, and at the time it was 8 of us. It was my mom, my father, my grandmother who was living at the time, my dad's mother, and my oldest sister, her best friend, my cousin who my mom adopted and he became like a brother, my middle sister, and myself. So it was 8 of us.
A big house full.
And as the storm approached, it started to rain heavy, and I slept in my mother's and father's room because I was scared. I didn't know what was going on because it was raining. So I began to go to sleep. And as I began to fall asleep, the window, the glass to the window where I was at broke.
Oh man.
So everybody came running into my mom's room, and we ran into the closet. So it was 8 of us in a small closet. And at the time we had, I believe it was 2 dogs. Their names was Lucky and Bear. We put them in the bathroom, which we should have went in the bathroom, and we should have put them in the closet. But we did the opposite. They went in the bathroom and we went in the closet. It was 8 of us. We began to pray. We had a mattress up in the closet. And my sister's friend, she began to feel ill, so she wanted to leave out of the room, and we kept telling her, no, you can't. If you're sick, you have to, whatever's going on, you have to stay put. You have to stay in here.
Have to heck it out.
You have to heck it out. My grandmother, she was sitting in total silence. She didn't speak.
This food get cold.
So she wasn't speaking, and we didn't know at the time she was going through a stroke. She was having a stroke.
Wow.
And we didn't know it.
Wow.
So we began to pray, and as we went through the hurricane, it sounded like trains.
Everybody experienced that. I kind of remember that too. Sound like train. Wow, that's crazy.
So that's about it with my story.
But I'm saying, like trains, did windows bust out? Y'all wind up losing y'all roof? What's up?
Windows bust, all the windows bust. We wind up losing the majority of the roof. The only roof that stayed up was the roof in my mom's room where we was at, and the roof started to split. So that was the only roof, the part of the house that stayed up.
Okay, I know your dad always told me that, well, either your mom, don't quote me on it, they remember your grandma had the only working house, not working house, I mean only phone in the neighborhood.
Okay, I'll get to that part. So after the hurricane, when we was able to leave the house, we went out. Trees, wires, everything was destroyed. So we was able to make it to my other grandmother's house, which is my mom's mother, and nothing happened to her house. The only thing that she didn't have was electricity. Her phone was working. Her roof was up. Nothing happened to her house. As a matter of fact, during the hurricane, they was watching the house from. They was watching the hurricane from the inside of their house, and my cousin told us that she saw balls of fire falling down to the trees, because when Hurricane Andrew had tornadoes in it also.
Yeah.
So again, we went to my grandmother's house. We stayed there for a couple of days. My dad went to a warehouse with his friends because I guess he didn't feel comfortable.
He loved that warehouse.
Yeah.
Florida City, warehouse. If you from Florida City, you know about when they say going to the warehouse. You know about that down there. My bad, me to cut you off.
So that's where he went, and we stayed at my grandmother's house for a couple of days.
Okay. That was crazy. That was like a crazy time, man. I know. Well, for me, I remember it like it was yesterday. Like I said, it was the 93, 94. I was real young. And I remember we were all at my grandmother's and grandfather's house. My grandfather military, so we had just moved down here maybe like a year and a half before that happened. And from Fort Jackson. And I had previously been through another hurricane before. If anybody knows, leave a comment. Hurricane Hugo that came and hit Fort Jackson, South Carolina, Columbia, all the area. Kind of telling my age. But so I kind of had my share of, I kind of experienced it first time, but I didn't really know what it was. It just felt like Hurricane Hugo kind of just felt like a thunderstorm. But I never really had the full effect of a hurricane. So my first experience, I would say, was Andrew. But like I said, I remember it like yesterday. We were like looking at it on the news like the day before. And like T said, nobody was taking it serious. Our neighbors weren't taking it serious. People we know wasn't taking it serious. They were like, oh, I've been through a hurricane before. They would tell us stories about how they used to drive their motorcycle through the hurricane. Oh, this ain't gonna be nothing. Blah, blah, blah. Sa. So, I remember the day before, my grandma kept telling my granddaddy, she was like, you need to put some wood or some shutters on the windows. And at this time, we were renting, because like I said, we were military, and we was renting while we used to moving, so we was renting a property. And my grandma kept telling my grandfather, you need to put some shutters or wood on the windows. You weren't taking it serious. You keep thinking the joke, oh, it ain't gonna be nothing. The hurricane ain't gonna do nothing. He's sitting there playing, thinking it's a game. He took some darn Scotch tape. Now, the type of tape that you have inside classrooms, the little kids be taping their stuff together. He took those and he put little X's on the window. You feel what I'm saying?
A lot of people did that.
Which a lot of people did that, but at least I know they had big duct tape. You know what I'm saying? They had the big clear tape. He had the little kitty tape. We thought it was his name. He was laughing, things all funny. My grandma was like, you need to put some, what's his name? Shadows, either wood. So he take it serious. So we was watching the news, you know, chilling. It was me, my middle brother. It was my two aunts, my uncle, my grandma and grandfather. So that's me, my brother, that makes 2, 3, my grandma, 4, my granddaddy, 5, my auntie, 6, my other auntie, and 7, baby other auntie. So it was 7 of us. So we went and we was watching the TV, and what happened was we were watching the news. So it was saying that how it was gonna kind of be bad and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. No, at first it wasn't bad. It as it got closer.
Yeah. Yeah, they were saying that it was gonna be bad for the other areas that it was gonna hit, not necessarily us. So it was taking it serious. So we're chilling, everybody's chilling, and they finally fell asleep. So as they fell asleep, everybody was like in the rooms and stuff, and I fell asleep like in the living room, close to the kitchen. So I'm in there in the kitchen. No, not the kitchen. I'm close by the kitchen, and I'm sleeping. But I hear something keep rattling. I thought it was like aluminum foil. So of course, I'm thinking about grandma, somebody there making sandwiches, like with aluminum foil, like wrapping something. So I'm thinking Granny and I'm like, what the hell is Granny doing now? Making freaking sandwiches. So we was thinking like, dang, why she in there making sandwiches? So I'm thinking and saying to myself. So as I'm hearing it, it sounds like aluminum foil, something rattling. The next thing I know, boom, the kitchen window busts out. So immediately I get up and I get in survival mode. So I'm running. I run to my brother's room. My brother sleep in the bed. My middle brother, he's sleeping in the bed, knocked out. I grab my brother and trying to wake him up, and he was sleeping hard. So I wound up getting him, grabbing him, and just in time, and the window of the room bust out, and the wind is like pulling. I quickly shut the door. Me and him are running. We run into the next room. We trying to wake my aunt up. As soon as we get my aunt up from there, we wake her up. Her window busts out. We shut that door. We ran to the next room. As we go to the next room, my other aunt's in there laying down. And then we went to shake to wake her up. And the minute that I'm waking her up, I wound up pulling her and the roof caved in on the bed. So we got my aunt up. We're running. We go to my grandmother's room. So when we get to my grandmother's room, we trying to let my grandparents know what's going on, because, like I said, everybody like they was in a deep sleep, man. And so we got to get my grandparents up, and my granddaddy was immediately, he got in survival mode. My grandma was trying to get everybody comfortable and trying to get everything like set, like she was supposed to as well. So me and my grandfather, so I start helping my grandfather whatever he needs. So my grandfather, like, he's freaking out, but he went back in like army mode. So he's moving around, get this, get that, blah blah blah. So he goes back into like army mode. So me and him like running through the house, trying to go to the front and grab whatever that we could have grabbed to bring back in the room area what we needed or whatever. So around that time, my aunt, my other aunt, we're gonna call her T, my aunt T, she was freaking out, like, cause she never experienced nothing like this. So the whole time she's like, I think it was traumatic for her. She was like, she wants to leave. Like, she's never coming back to Florida. Like, she couldn't handle it. My uncle and my other aunt and my uncle, I remember they were kind of like scared, but they were like kind of like chilling, like whatever, you know, whatever we need. They were kind of like survival mode. My other aunt, she took it like the hardest. Like the whole time she was like freaked out, like she didn't want to deal with this. Like, I do not want to be here. Bump Florida. Bump being down here. I ain't feeling it. So then me and my grandfather run around, and we go to the front, grab all the supplies that we can grab, and around that time the roof flew off of half of the house. So as we running, he's in survival mode, army mode, like he remembers, let's go, blah, blah, blah. I go, and the whole side of the wall falls down in the middle of the house where my room was. Well, me and my brother's room was, where I pulled my brother out of, and next to the other room my aunt was, that whole wall fell over. So we were running in between the wall. So as we were running in between the wall, we got back to the room. So as we got back to the room, everybody was like, kind of freaking out, scared. My aunt, that I told you, that one aunt, that she just couldn't deal with it. We were trying to calm her. And then my grandmother's room had like a slide door. So the slide door had bust. And that was like crazy, because she had two, like a slide door, but then like the big sliding area. So that bust. So we wound up have to take her mattresses. They had like a king, and put it against the slide door to keep the bathroom closed. So that's the only room that was holding up. Cause every other room around the house was the windows were all bust, and like I said, the wall came down, and those rooms, basically everything's getting sucked out. So that was the only one holding up, and also with the room door. So we had, if I remember, I think my uncle or either my aunt, one of them was sitting on the room door for the time being, and me, my grandmother, I think my aunt, and my grandfather, we were laying on the mattress as the wind was pushing to keep the wind from coming in. Now, mind you, yeah, it was crazy. And mind you, we had my grandfather had like one of those radios, one of those survival radios. I think the ones you crank like that, those good to have. Those type of radios are good to have. The ones that you can crank and the ones that are like solar. So he had one of those, and we could hear them talking, telling us like what it's doing, like the storm, where it's headed, and everything like that. And the whole time my aunt's still freaking out.
Let me ask you a question, D. At this time, we was like babies. We was young, so you had to, as young as you was, you had to save your brothers and your auntie from getting hurt.
From getting hurt, yeah. I had to be strong. That's why I said I'm always thinking about survival. I'm the type of person, like I said, I like watching Walking Dead and all that type of stuff like that. Not to say I want something like that happen, and not saying like it slightly intrigued me, but I think when I get in those type of situations, it gives me a rush. Like I get in survival mode. Like it's like a movie. It felt like a movie to me. I was slightly scared, but it turned into not like a game, but like like a game of survival. Like I got to survive this. You feel me? And so my grandparents and us are on the bed trying to hold the bed on the sliding door. We have a radio. We listen to the radio, and it's telling us about the storm moving through and everything like that. And as we stood in, I remember my uncle went into the bathroom because we were gonna try to get in the bathroom, and from there it had like one of those kind of solar see-through things in the bathroom. If y'all know what those is in the comment, I don't really know what it is, but you can kind of see, and the sun comes through. You can see the weather move, because I went in and looked. I never forget. You can see the weather moving through. And my other aunt was still scared, so my grandma wound up telling her to go get into the closet, because we had a closet that was near it. They had a big closet, so my aunt wound up going into the big closet, and my other aunt was kind of trying to comfort her, if I can remember, and my uncle would check on her and stuff like that. And I remember the storm was passing over, and this is why you gotta always be careful, because what happened was the eye of the storm was passing, so it has that kind of clearance, but then the other half of the storm is gonna come back through, so that's when it kind of gets calm and it kind of gets clear.
It pick back up,
but it's gonna pick back up and go back dark. So I remember the eye was going through and it was clear. So, being that it's my first experience with a storm, I don't really know. And my family, I don't know if they've been through other storms. I know my grandparents have, because my granddad, like I said, my granddad has stories of him. He rode his motorcycle through the hurricane, through the storm. And I think my wife, I think her dad did the same thing. He said he had a story of him riding, right? His motorcycle through the hurricane or something like that, he was saying. I believe, or through a storm.
He never told me that story.
Yeah, because I think he said something about that, because we was talking about the storm, and I was telling about my grandkid Rick, and I think say he kind of did that till he was young. Which, don't quote me on that.
Maybe.
But I remember him telling me that. So so we were all there, and like I said, the eye was passing through. Everybody got comfortable. People got comfortable.
People made a mistake.
Made that big mistake. They got comfortable. So we moved the mattress from the window to look out.
Everybody started coming out their house.
People started coming out their house, and I can just remember it like yesterday. You heard the weatherman on the radio. He was like, "It's coming back. It's coming back." But it wasn't that it was coming back. The rest of the storm was passing through. So he's like, "It's coming back, coming back." So as the people were going outside of these homes, outside to look and investigate like it was over, they had to run back in. So we just moved the mattress to kind of see what was going on, but we didn't go out. So as we went to put our mattress back, there were some families that was across, and the families had to run back inside, and the lady got sucked up inside of the storm, and she was gone. So I remember her kids screaming and stuff like that, and as we went back, we closed the mattress back. We just was riding it out. You feel what I'm saying? So we riding it out on our back like this, riding out on the what's name, and that was it. And it was like, whoo, HE double hockey sticks. It was a scary experience for me. But like I say, I had to stay calm, had to think about survival. I couldn't think about my family. Like, I'm young, but I'm like, okay, I gotta keep it together, because I'm saying in my head, like, you know, my grandparents can't worry about us if they gotta worry about the situation. So I say, I can't be scared, I gotta be focused, can't freak out. So I was keeping my brother focused, talking to everybody. I was just, you know, trying to wing it. So after the storm was over, like I said, we had got through it. They wound up having a curfew. Curfew. I know some places were kind of giving people food. I think maybe McDonald's, Burger King.
McDonald's. Burger King was closed.
Okay.
And my mom, she stopped going to Burger King for a while because of that situation. Like, okay, with the times that people really need you to be open, and then you have food, but you close your establishment when stuff like this happen. So yeah, Burger King was closed, McDonald's was open. They had a couple of banks that was passing out food. They had people that was passing out batteries, sandbags, a lot of stuff, diapers, baby food, and a lot of people. I remember when we first left the house to go to my grandma's house, we saw people running out of Toys R Us.
Looting.
Yeah.
I remember people looting from there. They had a place that sell dirt bikes and stuff like that. People was trying to break in there, trying to loot. It was all type of places. Like, instead of people getting survival stuff like that you need, that can help you through this, you know, and this
and not even that.
They trying to get meaningless stuff to me.
Not even that, just being thankful that you made it through the storm, and you out there. I mean, to each his own, but to be out there in the store and the first thing that you thinking about.
Yeah. So it's like crazy.
That was a crazy time for everybody.
I remember too, I wound up, I could say, after the hurricane, there was some days the kids, you know, trying to walk around and stuff like that. And my grandparents told me, don't be walking around. My grandma said, don't be out there walking around doing that, because you don't want to get hurt or get nothing in your feet or anything. I wound up stepping on a piece of wood with a nail, and it went through my foot. Oh my goodness. Went through the whole middle of my foot. And we had to figure out whether if I had a tetanus shot and stuff like that, because like I said, around that time, I don't think hospitals and stuff was open, because it really, right, were they open? I think right that time it really tore some stuff
They
up.
was open because
They were open, but I think it was getting to there because there was you couldn't move around because there was so much
trees,
so much stuff demolished and devastation.
Stuff.
Yeah, so they had to try to get there. So around that time, I guess I had the big nail. It went in, it came out. I just stepped on it and came out. I just remember I stepped, and I was like, ah, and I pulled my feet up. And my grandma's like, I told you. So that's why I try to listen when my grandma tell me something, because every time, don't listen, wind up hurting myself. Because a hard head make a soft behind. But we wound up later, after, like I said, after the hurricane, they were giving people trailers. Yeah, so they were issuing family trailers. So we wound up staying in a trailer park not too far from where the hurricane had hit us. We wound up having trailers actually not too far from where we had been hit for the hurricane. So we wound up having those and going back to school and stuff like that. Okay. So
with us, they offered my mom a trailer. They gave like a voucher, but she said she would rather to put the money towards fixing the house, so she declined the trailer, her and my father, and they used the money to fix the house.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. Like I said, it was a crazy experience. So we would say to always just try to be prepared. Whatever storm come, take it serious. Because sometimes you never know. Thank God we didn't get a lot of water, because even when that hurricane came, they said we were supposed to get 15 to 20 feet of water. And like me, I was the only one that could swim in my family other than my grandfather. So that would have been tragic. So we thank the Most High for that we didn't receive that. And like I said, make sure you have your gas. Make sure you try to get shutters, get wood, canned goods, all that type of stuff. And if you can evacuate, I would just suggest you evacuate. I don't think no one wants to try to ride out no storm, unless you don't have no choice. And if you're going to, I think you should go to a shelter. You feel what I'm saying? Where you can be high ground or somewhere where you think you can be safe in the shelter. Don't try to ride it out in the house. I think that was our biggest mistake, and I think we would never do that again. So every storm after that, I have not stayed in the house. Like, I try to go into a shelter, or I'm heading out of state, or I'm hitting the higher ground.
It's a couple times where we knew a storm was coming and it wasn't that bad, but I would tell D at the last minute, because he's like, no, I'm ready, I want to go, because his experience was a little bit more traumatic than ours. Yeah. So it was one time where it was a hurricane down here. Yeah. And I didn't tell D, and we was driving
through the hurricane and didn't even know. We're out in the stores buying stuff, because she like to go to these stores, and we was in the middle of hurricane, kind of like a tropical storm, category 1, and she didn't tell me. And I was like, you got to tell me these things, home, because I think she didn't tell me, and she kind of forgot at the same time, which is crazy. And we kind of got stuck at the flea market.
That time, but it was more than one time. Yeah. It was the time we did. We got stuck at the flea market. The water was up to our
ankles. I had to buy her rain boots on the spot. Yeah, but when you have those type of things, take it serious, please. People, take it serious, and try to go to shelters. Try to go to higher ground. Like I said,
as soon as the news tell you that a hurricane is near, because if you sit and you wait,
you'll be stuck.
Because we almost got stuck.
Yeah.
In one hurricane, we was traveling, we was leaving, and people was running out of gas.
It was like the apocalypse, like Walking Dead. People ran out of gas. We had to hit the side road of the median just to go to get to our destination. We wanted to go to Orlando or whatever. Had to hurry up. That's a quick hack. If you know you're trying to go to higher ground if you can't get no hotel, because sometimes they try to price gouge, and you can't get no hotel because it'd be hard for so many people getting hotels. Get you an Airbnb. Go ahead and get you an Airbnb real quick. Like I said, it can only be like a couple of days. You don't even gotta get a whole week. Get you an Airbnb like that. Put that credit card there. That's a hack for anybody that's trying to find somewhere to go to survive or high ground. If you can't get a hotel, get you an Airbnb.
The hotels was full. We could not find. We just at the last minute, and that's why we left late, because we was trying to get a place up in Orlando. We could not find
anywhere.
And at the last minute, the Airbnb came.
Yeah, the Airbnb idea, because our sister-in-law was just trying to think, and that first thing popped in our head, so we wound up getting the Airbnb. So that's a hack. If you ever get stuck, get you an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
But that concludes our story. Thank y'all for tuning in to us today.
We hope it was informative.
Mm-hmm. If y'all have any questions or any other things pertaining to this story that you might want to know, or some other questions
you want us to piggyback on it.
Yeah, piggyback on it, or any questions that can benefit what we were talking about that could help you, leave a comment down in the comment box. Let us know. Also let us know whatever other type of content that y'all want to see and hear from us.
One thing that I want to show them, if I have time.
Yeah. So, like I said, if you have any type of, like I said, questions, anything that you want to ask us, leave it down in the comments. Don't hesitate. Don't be scared. Got, like I said, any content that you know that you want us to do, let's talk. Don't be scared. Oh yeah, I forgot. For those that can't swim and you have no choice and you're gonna ride it out in the house, or period.
This is a must.
Get you a must.
Even if you can swim.
Yeah, get you life jackets. This is something that you should have on deck. Get you life jackets. You can get these from Walmart. You can get them from Harbor Freight. You can get them from Home Depot. Those are good to have just in case any scenario. Like I said, that water get real high. You got that. You'll be able to float on. You feel me? That's good, T. It's good you thought of that. So, like I said, if you got any questions, any thing that you might have in no survival, leave it in the comment, so that other people can probably piggyback off of it, and it can probably help them. But thank y'all for tuning in with us today. And on that note, we gonna holler at you.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Peace.